Yes, you watching this right now. Have you ever felt like something is blocking you from stepping into God's plan for your life? Like you're stuck, unable to move forward? What if I told you that the enemy's greatest weapon isn't always a direct attack? Sometimes, it's you. Your fears, your doubts, your past. But today, that ends. Stick with me for a few minutes, and I'll show you exactly what's holding you back and how to break free. The biggest obstacle: fear. Fear paralyzes. Fear whispers, "You're not enough. You're not ready. You'll fail." But what does God say? To Timothy 1:7, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." Fear is not from God, it's a trap from the enemy. The moment you start walking in faith, chains begin to fall. The enemy knows this, which is why he keeps you afraid. But today, I declare over you, fear has nitrogen monoxide power over your destiny. Fear manifests in different ways: fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of stepping into the unknown. But faith requires trust, and trust requires action. Abraham stepped out in faith when God called him to an unknown land. He had no roadmap, no guarantees, just a promise. And that promise was enough. What if your promise is just on the other side of your fear, past mistakes and guilt? Maybe you feel unworthy because of your past. Maybe you've messed up, and now you think God's plan is no longer for you. Lies. Romans 8:1, "There is therefore now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus." God doesn't call the perfect, He perfects the called. Moses was a murderer. David fell into sin. Paul persecuted Christians, and yet, God used them to change history. Your past doesn't disqualify you, God's grace redeems you. Will you let go of your past so you can embrace your future? Think about Peter. He denied Jesus 3 times, and yet Jesus restored him and gave him one of the greatest missions in history: to build His church. God's grace is bigger than your worst mistake. The only way your past wins is if you refuse to surrender it to God. Don't let yesterday's guilt steal today's calling. Comfort zone. One of the biggest traps is comfort. It feels safe, but safe is not where faith thrives. Matthew 14:29. Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came toward Jesus. Peter had to leave the boat to experience the miracle. Some of you are waiting for a move of God, but God is waiting for you to move. Your comfort zone is the graveyard of your calling. It's time to step out. Think about Noah building an ark when there had never been rain. Think about Esther stepping before the king when it could have cost her life. Think about Jesus leaving heaven's glory to walk among us. The greatest acts of faith are always outside of comfort. Are you willing to step out? The truth is, staying in comfort will never lead you to your calling. God is always calling us higher, deeper, further. He's calling you beyond what's familiar. Will you trust Him? Distractions and negative voices. Another thing that holds many back is distractions, things that consume our time, energy, and focus. Social media, entertainment, and healthy relationships. These things can subtly pull us away from our purpose. Hebrews 12:1, "Let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us." You can't run effectively if you're carrying unnecessary weight. What's weighing you down? What's stealing your focus? It's time to cut it off. Negative voices also play a huge role. The enemy will use people, even well-meaning ones, to plant seeds of doubt in your heart. But listen, God's voice must be louder than anyone else's. So here's the question: what's holding you back? Is it fear, your past, your comfort zone, distractions? Comment below which one you're battling, and let's break through it together. And if this message stirred something in you, don't scroll away. Like, share, and subscribe, because this is just the beginning. God has something powerful for your life, and I'll be here to help you walk into it. Are you ready to step into God's plan? Then let's go.